200 kilowatts.
200, okay, just wanna make sure. Alright, so then these 200, you just buy from UI, just like normal, because you obviously need that electricity, but the solar system didn't create it, because the days are a little bit shorter. Now, that's one example, so, and here's the point I make. So even when we don't produce everything that you use, you're still saving money because you're buying the majority of your energy at the cheapest rate you possibly can. Okay, it's the smartest way to buy your electricity. Now, let's say it's summertime, and these panels are just cranking. Okay, so for this example, you still use 700 kilowatts, and let's say the system produced 800. You still get to buy all 800 at the cheapest rate possible.
But
Now,
only
here's
need
the cool-
700.
Here's the cool part, Tony. Here's the cool part. A lot of people think we make our money on the overage, okay, like the excess. You know, it's like, oh, you get to use my roof to put these panels up there, and then you make all this money selling it back to the electric companies. That's not how it works. Actually, you get the overage, not us. So you get to buy your energy at the cheapest rate possible, and this extra 100 that we overproduce goes back into the grid, and UI automatically buys that back from you. Now, what price do you think they buy it back at?
21.
What price would you like them to buy it back at? 21, right? You're exactly right. They give you a kilowatt for kilowatt credit. So now, Tony, you're actually making money because you're buying the energy at the cheapest rate possible. UI is buying it back from you at the highest retail rate, and that comes in the form of a credit on your next bill. So then I point to their bill and I say, so instead of you getting, whatever, a $140 bill, there's going to be a negative in front of here. And those credits are going to build up and roll over each month during the summer. So in the winter, when our production starts to dip a little bit, you get to use up all that stored energy that you banked. And so that's when you really save money, is in the fall and winter, because our bill is very small, plus you don't have much of a UI bill, because you're using up all the credits. Now, we can't do that for everybody, okay? I tell them that right up front. We can't do that for everybody. But even if we aren't able to do that, if your roof doesn't allow us to do that, you're still buying your energy at the cheapest rate, so there's no way you can lose, okay? So that's how I do that. Now, the one thing, and I'll tell them this right up front, the one thing that solar cannot cover is the line charge on your bill. There's a flat line charge. It's $17 for UI, and everybody has to pay it. That keeps you connected to the grid so that if we don't produce everything you use, you can still get the energy that you need. Everybody has to pay it. It's the only thing solar can't cover, okay? Nobody ever has a problem with that. They get it. It's just the way it works, okay? There it is. It's this basic service charge, $17.25. So if we, theoretically, if we produced 100% of what you used every single month, the only thing you'd be paying UI is the $17.25. The rest you'd be buying from us at the cheapest rate. Okay? Everybody clear on that? Okay, good. Now, there's 5 common questions that everybody asks me. Actually 6. The first is what happens if I move or if I sell the house? Okay? So if you move, a couple of things will happen. First off, according to Wall Street Journal, it's going to actually increase the value of your home. RE/MAX of New England says that your home will sell faster as well because people are looking for ways to save money, and not every house will qualify for this program. So that's a huge selling advantage if you guys do go to sell your home. Another thing is this the solar panels are 100% transferable to the new homeowners. Okay, there's no cost for that. It's just like your cable bill. All we do is change the bill into their name, and they continue to save money just like you do. Worst case scenario, if they don't want it, because right about that point, the customer's going, what if they don't want it? You know, and you got to beat them to it. Like you just beat them to it. Worst case scenario, if they don't want it, you guys can actually have us relocate the panels. We have offices from New York to California. Okay, we're the largest residential solar provider in the country, so chances are we're going to have a location where you guys are going to be.
Are we bigger residentially than Solar City?
I thought we were, but
In New
according
England.
to Dylan, we're not. Dylan is the fact meister.
We're not even close to Solar City.
Are we number 1
In residential?
Not even close.
Huh,
How about in New England?
Okay.
In New England,
Oh yeah, we are. In New England, I know that. And again, keep in mind, I'm always trying to break it down on the local level. In Stratford, I know where I'm at, and I know we have more installs than all the other companies combined. Like, you know, we're killing it there. So that's what I usually refer to. Bottom line is, we have offices from New York to California. We're all over the place, and I just leave it at that. Okay. Don't get into, well, what if I move to Missouri? No, don't go there. It's just, we have offices from New York to California, blah, 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 leave it there. Most of the time, I don't get any kickback, I don't get any feedback when I present it that way. It's just the way it is. And if they do say, the customer will usually have a conversation with themselves. Okay, well, if they don't want it, blah, blah, blah.
Shit.
Okay, but you know what, if, honestly, everybody's gonna want this, right? I'm like, yeah. Duh, this is the way everything's going. Who doesn't wanna save money? We're in Connecticut, we pay more for our electricity than people in California do. It's crazy, it's ridiculous. So, that's it, that's all the time that I spend on that question. Second is what happens if there's damage to the system? So heaven forbid, we have a bad storm, tree branch flies off, damages the panels and your roof. Our insurance will always cover any damage to the system. Your homeowners will cover your roof just like normal, okay? I leave it like that. Now, there's one little clause, in case you guys happen to come across it, that says that we don't cover hail damage, okay? If for some reason you have some guy that's like all anal and getting all into, yeah, but it does say you don't cover hail damage. Well, guess what? It also says that there's nothing in there that says that we can charge you for the hail damage. So it's really stupid the way they wrote it, honestly.
Well, so
I don't even get it.
On top of that, you have the force majeure clause, which is the act of God clause, where if
Exactly.
anything happens, both parties just go their separate ways and neither party has responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And the truth is, here's what I go back to, you guys. How do we make our money? And if I haven't explained this already to the customer, I explain it right now. How do we make our money? We make money three ways. We get the federal and the state tax incentives, and we make money selling you electricity. So every time we sell you a kilowatt of energy, we make a little bit of money. I don't know what our margin is, but over time, we're gonna make great money. If this system isn't producing, guess who's losing out on this deal? Us. We're the ones with all the financial risk and investment in this. You have nothing. So do you think it's in our vested interest to make sure the system's always up and running, and we're gonna quibble about whether or not it was a hail damage or a golf ball or whatever? No, of course not. We need this system running or we're not making money. Everybody can relate to that because everybody knows that money drives everything, okay? Again, never have to go into it more than that. Number three, what happens if I need a new roof? Now, if you need a new roof, I think you guys will be fine. You told me the roof's only 7 years old. You guys shouldn't need to worry about this, but I just want you to know, let's say 10 years down the road you want to put a new roof on. That's the only time during the 20 years that you pay us anything out of pocket for the program, other than, of course, you're just buying your electricity from us. So at that point, we would have to send a crew out, take the whole system off, store it, and then reinstall the whole thing after your roof is installed. And at this point, they're kind of thinking, oh, here it comes. They're bracing themselves. $500 covers that whole process. And that's a fixed price. It doesn't increase during the 20 years. Okay? Cool. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I agree. Number four, what happens if you lose power? If you lose power with your utility company, you still lose power with the panels. Why?
There's a switch in the inverter box that shuts it off, and if those guys are on the line working, and there's production kicking back to the grid, they can get hurt.
Yep.
So there's a switch that turns off automatically, and once the line's turned back on, it switches back on.
Yep. So there's a safety switch, cuts off. We don't want to backfeed into the grid during a power outage for safety reasons. Okay? However, whatever, you can get into. Now, I heard there were batteries out there. Then you can talk about the Tesla Powerwall battery. You have to get on a waiting list. It's going to be about a year to a year and a half before they're actually available. But it is a 7 kilowatt battery. It'll power, the larger appliances in the home for about 5 to 6 hours. They're kind of expensive to get installed. They're about 4,000 installed. We don't sell them, but if you guys want to add that to your program, they're totally compatible with our system. Move on, okay? From there, what happens when it snows? So when it snows, go ahead.
You still get sun or solar if it's at least 5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 inches you still get solar.
Yeah, it's still producing 70% of what it would on a clear sunny day. But the truth is, it's just going to melt faster off these panels anyway.
Slide right off.
Yeah, so it's going to melt faster off the panels than it will off your shingles, so it's better for your roof too, because you don't have all that weight just sitting up there during the winter. Number 6, what happens in 20 years? And by the way, I go through these questions in this order for a reason, because energetically, I'm trying to keep the energy going, okay? And to me, this flows better. In 20 years, you have a few great options. The first is you guys can own the system. So at that point, we've made the money we need to. You give us $1, system's yours. We, you know, at that point, we've made the money we need to. You guys would get free electricity going forward. However, you're responsible for maintenance and insurance at that point. Okay, second thing is you cancel, I don't know why you would, but we'll take everything off, seal it all up. There's no cost for that, because